Hello, my peeps. It's a new week and a new episode of Chit Chat with Bernie Bella. This is episode 27. We're just chugging along. Anyways, I'm your host, Bernadine, and welcome. It's Thursday. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Drop a comment, say hello, share the live. And if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. We stream live every Thursdays at 9 p.m. on both Facebook and YouTube, and previous episodes can be found on my YouTube channel. So visit the site, like, comment, subscribe, and set your notification bell so that you can be notified when we go live. So if you're here and you can hear me, just drop a hi, drop a hello. Let me know if you can hear me. And we're going to start with our entertainment section as usual and do a little bit of artist preview. And then we go into the pasa things and wagwan in Jamaica. Yes. So our artist I'm going to start with Koffee. She's got a new video and song out called West Indies. It's the video, nice. The song, nice. Like everything about the concept, and it just, none of Koffee song them no miss. Like this one, she showcasing family life in Jamaica, enjoying the islands. There's a lot of the Jamaican YouTube vloggers and dancers are in the video. Even her mother is in the video as well. But yeah, Koffee song, sell off it nice. Hello, Miss German. How are you? Can you hear me clearly? All is well. Did you have a good week? And so Jah Cure and Way Fusion has a new song called Drama. And the title of the song is ironic considering the drama surrounding Jah Cure right now, but it's a nice song, good lyrics, radio play, easy listening. The song will go somewhere. Silk Boss has one we call Gitwe, and as the title states, the woman a Gitwe upon him. So Monday I rode with him friends and not paying attention to his woman, and another man step in and give the woman the attention what she wants. So the video is well planned out, good story, easy listening, and it have a little bit of the Dexter Daps flow. So it's a nice slow dancehall song. The other song is Diane called Ride It. Good visual, good concept. It's okay. Most everybody's starting to sound alike now. I have the same video concept. So it lacks a little bit of creativity because it's either about girls or guns. And yeah, Vibes Cartel, as you know, him have a song a week or a song a day. So he's got a dancehall song out. It's got a good vibes. They've got a model impersonating him and everything. The girls, like when the song playing a dancehall, the girls then will vibe to it. The man them not so much, but the girls then will vibe to that song in a dancehall. So those are the songs that I picked for the that preview this week. And you can check out all videos or albums on YouTube, and the video links are in the description box on my YouTube channel. So we're going to go to the entertainment section, and Kalia Hall, a 25-year-old mechanical engineering graduate from St. Anne, has been crowned Miss Jamaica World. Hall beat 14 other finalists to take the crown on Saturday at the pageant's grand coronation at the Courtly Auditorium in New Kingston. Dominic Shorter and Melissa Vassell were first runner-up and second runner-up, respectively. Hall, who has a master's in mechanical engineering from the University of Manchester in the United Kingdom, will now go on to represent Jamaica in the Miss World Grand Coronation at the Coliseo de Puerto Rico Jose Miguel Agrelo in San Juan on December 16th. She will compete for the crown now held by fellow Jamaican Tony Ann Singh against beauty queens from 122 other nations. So she's not only beautiful, she got brains. Got to be a mechanical engineer is no joke, and to have a master's in mechanical engineer, no joke. So yeah, pretty plus tax and educated. Sharon said, "Why fear things?" Yeah, for that video, right? Hi, Jamila. How are you? Long time no see or hear. Glad you can tune in. Sharon say, watch a Spanish speaker. Me dey take a little bit of Spanish in a class, you know. Me have a little bit. Me dey take a little bit. Me dey take a little bit, so me can go on. So, last week, if you all recall, the Jamaica entertainment scene was spicy. Well, this week is no different. It even spicier, if that's possible, because more things are going down there. So we're gonna start with Jah Cure. He's still detained in Amsterdam. He spent his birthday October 11th behind bars. His next court date is October 18th. He also has an upcoming album called Undeniable, and that is set to be released shortly. So I'm not quite sure. We'll have to look and see what happens next week when he goes to court, if they're going to formally charge him and if they're going to detain him or what they're going to do. So that's something that I'll watch out for, and I'll keep you guys posted next week. All right. So, as a follow-up to the Tanya Stephens rape revelations and the Richie Stephens being accused of rape, Maca Diamond and Dr. Love have both now come out with their own stories of abuse. Maca claims that she was beaten by a prominent artist back when she was still trying to get into the business, and everybody stood around and nobody helped her. She said that when she used to go to the studio and try to get a boss, and when then she'd go to the other studio and try for thing, and one at a time when she come back from the top studio, whoever was there apparently beat her with a piece of what we would have called 2x4 piece of wood or whatever. Now, based on her description, everyone is speculating that it's Beenie Man. However, Beenie Man is not on the island. He's been in England for a few weeks. So there's been no response to her allegations. Nobody's come out and said yay or nay or whatever. There's supposedly a voicemail circulating confirming that it's him. But when she said it was two major artists that had beefs, a long running beef, speculation is that Beanie and Bounty, and then people pick Beanie, and yeah, so we don't know where that'll go yet, because Maca come out say or something, and then she never did any follow-up to it or whatever. Dr. Love, on the other hand, he did an interview with the Jamaica Star where he stated that he was sexually abused by a woman he knew when he was a child. He said that the woman encouraged him to keep the assault a secret and even offered him food and other things to remain quiet. He said he confided in another woman about what was taking place. That woman shared it with a friend who eventually told his mother, but he said at the time his mother did not believe him. The entertainer said that the sexual abuse continued until he was 18, and that it only ended when he migrated to the US to live with extended family. That's when he shared his experience with his mother, who at that time believed him. He ultimately buried himself in construction work, music, and blogging as a way to cope with the childhood trauma, but said rape victims never receive true closure. Now, you never want to speak out against when somebody come talk what they consider to be their truth in when they said that, they're raped man or woman. We'll have to see how many more victims come forward now that this has opened up a conversation in the entertainment business. How many more people are going to come forward, or whether they're going to be comfortable calling names or coming out with their story. We'll have to see what happens with that. Queen Ifrica also came out in support of Tanya Stephens. and has stated that the music business is a very grimy one where young women and girls are often objectified and seen only as sex toys. She said there are a lot of predators in our industry, in our society in general, but in the music industry full of predator. Some serious demonic one them too. Like them like do some dirty thing to some little girls and some little boy out here, Ifrica noted, pointed out that in many cases not even little boys are pardoned, and them have a society where protect them so they don't feel like they should have any form of remorse or they should answer to anybody about it, the Montego Bay native added. A lot of them artists here where we look up to some big great tone artist man and middle age artist man and all different age group artist man where we look up to in this industry. Nasty, she declared. Them no pardon little girl and some of them no pardon little boy neither. Them come around and them they round them, and because of the love with them have, she said that some of the artists have taken their reprehensible acts while on tours overseas where they take advantage of young, impressionable female fans who are simply starstruck and want to be in the presence of their favorite artist. I tour the world, Queen Ifrica, been around the world, and I have seen where young girls come backstage just to be around Jamaican musicians and see these artists and to be a part of it. And before the night is over, they're molested, she said. And they can't believe it is their favorite artist that did that to them. And you come on the road and you meet them up and they'll be like, so you know this artist or do you know that artist? He's not a good person. And sometimes you quiz and you hear what he did and somebody else was watching and all that kind of stuff. So she had a lot to say with regards to what artists do when they tour, and you know, the girls that they're with. And it's not only musical artists that do that, it is also DJs that come up with sound systems that do that as well. So you know, it keeps happening a lot. Now, Jamaica recently passed a Sexual Offenders Act, and under that act, an adult in authority who has sexual intercourse with another person who is under the age of 16 can be imprisoned for life if convicted in a circuit court. Persons convicted of incest, rape, marital rape, sexual touching or interference, sexual grooming of a child, sexual intercourse with a person under 16 years old, grievous sexual assault, and indecent assault are registered as sex offenders. However, the registry, which currently consists of more than 330 persons, is not available to members of the public as access is restricted to specified groups such as the police. People are currently calling for the registry to be more accessible and transparent to greater protect the public. Dr. Love is one of the people who is calling out for the sex registry to be made more open to people. So let's see what's happening over here. Hi, Eni, darling. How are you? Good night. Thanks for checking in. Let's see what Sharon has to say. Rape victims are not only women. So sad his mother didn't believe him. Lots of abuse in the entertainment industry. There is a lot of abuse in the entertainment industry, and within our culture and our society. Why I paused on that was back then, a lot of the times when young boys are, when older women are attracted to young boys, the young boy them then feel like them a man. A lot of them are realizing now that they were abused, and a lot of them are realizing why they are the way they are now is because of what they thought was okay and what they enjoyed. Some of them enjoyed when it was happening. They're now realizing that they were abused, and they're now realizing that it's wrong, and some of them are being treated for it, and some of them are you know, having to deal with the difficulty of realizing that one, they were abused, and that two, there's a process for them to go through to now get past that or try to get beyond that. Okay. Aiden says, I am good. Give thanks. That's awesome. Betty O'Brien. Oh, she has a lot to say for giving Dr. Whomever thanks. Anyways, back to the entertainment section. Daviana, the lady in red, is Tony Rebel's daughter and also Queen Ifrica's stepdaughter. So she posted a video earlier this week with her clothes covered in blood. There was blood on the floor behind her, and she's stating that she's just sick of being abused mentally and physically. She's tired. She's tired of having to be brave and strong and positive all the time, and she's just tired. And she said she's just here for people to use and abuse, because if that's my role in life, I definitely don't want it anymore. I had enough and I'm just ready to go now. I'm ready. She also revealed that she's been suicidal for years, writing, I've been suicidal for a very long time and I finally feel like I'm ready. God knows I've tried. The blood on her clothes was because of a physical fight that she had with her domestic partner. And she took pictures of it and stuff. There's no word. There's been nothing said of what's happening with that issue, or, if that's going to be taken further. She's always had a rocky relationship with her father, Tony Rebel. No comments or statement were released by either Tony Rebel or her mother. It didn't state who her mother was, but yeah, there's been no comments issued from them. So we don't know what's happening. She hasn't posted anything else on her social media. There's been no word of if she's gone to a hospital, if she's, being treated psychiatric. Like, she just made the post and then that was it. Like I said, the Jamaica entertainment scene this week has just gone, I don't know. They said, what's that? The moon is in retrograde, but man. So, last week it was Buju Banton and Vybz Kartel. Well, this week it's Buju is in the news again this week, and this time it's with his daughter Abigail. So it started out with a report stating that she was missing and that they hadn't seen her since October 9th. And I think that was posted on October 11th or 12th. So there was a post stating that Abigail was missing. Abigail then posted on her social media that she wasn't missing. She posted that her sister Jody and Myrie, who is a member of parliament, and her father are doing this because she proved that he abused her and they're trying to kill her. And if anything happens to her, you all know where to look. Or brother Jazeel also posted that she's not missing and that he talks to her every day. He also stated that his family don't like when the truth comes out, so they do anything to save themselves. So as a side note to that as well, when Buju just came from prison, he also got into a physical fight with one of his son, Marcus. Yeah, Marcus, the one that's a producer. Abigail has since hired a lawyer who put out a statement on her behalf, also asking media personnel to cease and desist from stating that she's missing, etc. Her parents, Buju and Lorna Strahan, has also hired a separate lawyer to represent them as well in the whole process. Abby has since deactivated her social media account. She was supposed to show up to the police station to prove that she was fine and that she was okay, but she never did. So nobody else has put out a statement since then. Her lawyer hasn't put out another statement. The parents' lawyer hasn't put out another statement. She has not posted on social media since. So right now, nobody knows. Since yesterday, nobody knows what's happening or what's, so we just have to wait and see what happens with this issue. Jamaica entertainment scene, I don't know, but it's a lot that's happening there right now. But just to lighten it up a bit, did anybody see Cardi B's birthday party videos or pictures or anything. So she had her 29th birthday party recently in LA, and she had put out a thing stating that for those who are invited to her birthday party, they needed to dress up as Jamaica, as like it's a dancehall thing. So she entitled it Dancehall Pasa Pasa, and it was, going back to the 90s of Uptown Monday setting with weddy with a little bit of everything. And let me tell you, the celebrity them, yeah, they came out. They came out like performers were Spice performed, Shensea, Ding Dong, Champagne, DJ Chromatic was on the doing the DJing and all of that. But then like Lizzo, um, Chance the Rapper, Tiffany Haddish, come on, Winnie Harlow. Well, Winnie's a Jamaican. Karuchi Tran, Snoop Dogg, Larsa Pippen, Tiana Taylor, like them come out and them represent. But the best part of it for me was the fact that her husband Offset gifted her a house with a rooftop pool in Costa Rica. So I'm gonna have to tell my husband when I get married, I may celebrate one of my birthdays or a wedding anniversary, I would like a house as well with a rooftop pool. Sharon says, wow. Jamila said, yes, yeah, Cardi B's thing was thing. Sharon says, Spice look amazing. Lizzo look a mess. Yeah, I have issues with Lizzo. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there because they'll say you're fat shaming, or they say you're not comfortable with your body, or if you're doing this or doing that. She understood the assignment of dressing according to the dancehall theme that it was, and that's what she did. But yeah, Spice, I like the fact that Spice broke it down where she said, she was representing Jamaica, her skin for the black, her green costume, and her gold chains, so the black, green, and gold. So it was good. But it's interesting that Americans and other cultures celebrate dance hall more than sometimes some Jamaicans do. So that's an issue. Jamila says, I give it to Lizzo. She's very confident. And Sharon says she's too comfortable. Yeah, I remember when she went to an LA Lakers game and her ass was out. Now, I ain't got no problems if anybody wants to walk naked on the street. But when you're going to go sit on a chair in public where other people are going to have to go sit on with your naked self, I got an issue with the cleanliness of that part. Well, whoever is comfortable enough to walk naked, knock yourself out. I know that's not me, but if you're comfortable enough to walk naked, knock yourself out. But when it comes to the cleanliness of if you're sitting somewhere where I am going to need to sit after, I got issues with that part. So that's just me and my OCD self with cleaning and all of that, right? So that was our entertainment section. Like I said, it's very spicy. No pun intended to spice, but yeah, there's a lot going on in Jamaica entertainment scene. So I'll keep you guys posted next week to let you know what happens. We're going to touch on now to sports, starting with my Raptors, who did very well in their preseason matches. They won 3 out of 5 games. Regular season starts next week against Washington. They've started releasing players in order to get to their 17-man roster. And, while it's a preseason game and they really didn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, it just helps to, show the team and give you an idea of how well they mesh together. And the chemistry so far between the players are awesome. So I'm looking forward to an exciting season with them. Especially because I have a couple of bets going that I need to win. So, may I wait and see. I am waiting because I know I'm going to win. So TFC didn't play any game this week. Their next game is October 16th, so that's Saturday. They didn't play any games because CONCACAF qualifying games were on for World Cup. Canada beat Panama yesterday 4-1, and Jamaica beat Honduras last night 2-0. So, road to Qatar, World Cup. Canada is doing well so far. Jamaica need to buck up a little bit and start a little better, but the win yesterday was a good look for them. They all play again next month. Argos, they play the Thai Cats on the weekend, and they won that game 24-23. Argos are on a 3-game winning streak, and they continue to lead their Eastern Division. So they're having a good season so far. And I was told I don't talk about Maple Leafs, probably because I'm not really a hockey fan, but apparently I have hockey fans that watch. So the Maple Leafs opened their season yesterday with a win against their rivals, the Montreal Canadiens. They won that game 2-1. They're playing Ottawa tonight. Game's not done yet, so I don't know what's going to happen, but it's a new season and everybody leaves hopeful. They start to dream again about possibly another championship. They haven't won one since 1967, so let's see if their dreams will come through this year. So for my hockey fans that tell me, you never said anything about the Leafs, there you go. Okay, so starting on our news story, a New Jersey man who used a dating app to lure, that's the word, lure, and kill 3 women 5 years ago was sentenced Wednesday to a whopping 160 years in prison. Then only thing the man I gonna live so long, like even if I give him 60, him not gonna live that long. 160 years in prison for 5. Well, he did kill 3 people, but still. After a trial in which it was revealed that friends of one victim did their own detective work on social media to ferret out the suspect, Khalil Wheeler Weaver, 25, sat motionless as the judge gave the sentence in state court in Newark. The sentencing was preceded by emotional statements by family members of victims Robin West and Sarah Butler. In a brief statement before they spoke, Wheeler Weaver denied responsibility, telling Superior Court Judge Mark S. Ali that he was framed. Wheeler Weaver's mother, aunt, and brother sat in the gallery but didn't address the court. The sentences covered 3 murders, 1 attempted murder, and other counts including kidnapping, aggravated arson, and desecration of human remains. The Essex County Prosecutor's Office had credited friends of Butler, a college student from Montclair, with using social media to help police find Wheeler Weaver. They gained access to her social media accounts, set up a fake account, lured Wheeler Weaver to a meeting in Montclair, and notified police, according to prosecutors. A 4th woman who survived an attack and testified at Wheeler Weaver's trial also provided crucial information that helped investigators, since the details of her attack were similar to those of the other victims. At Wednesday's sentencing, Tiffany Taylor described that the attack changed her life. She said she don't wear makeup anymore. She don't have friends. She's very paranoid, but she's happy to be in the court addressing the judge, and she hopes that the judge doesn't show him any remorse, because he's not showing any remorse. Prosecutors presented evidence at trial that Wheeler Weaver, then 20, so he was age 20 at the time when he committed the crime, used the dating apps to lure the women for sex and then strangled them. Their bodies were found between September and December 2016 in northern New Jersey. Investigators also presented evidence from Wheeler Weaver's cell phone that placed him where the victims disappeared and where their bodies were found. West, a 19-year-old from Philadelphia was seen getting into a car with Wheeler Weaver the night of August 31st, 2016, and was killed within the next few hours, prosecutors said. The alleged Wheeler Weaver dumped her body in an abandoned house not far from his own house in Orange, near Newark, and set the house on fire. It took about 2 weeks to identify her remains. Joanne Brown, 33, of Newark, was killed about a month after West was identified and also dumped in an abandoned house in Orange, but her body wasn't discovered until 6 weeks later. Butler disappeared around Thanksgiving 2016, about a month after Brown was killed, and her remains were discovered in a wooded area 4 days before Brown's body was discovered. Both women had been strangled with their clothing. At age 20, him killed 3 women, and the manner in which he killed them at age 20. Wow. That's crazy. Enid said, oh, true BB. Jamila said, that is so sad. Oh my God. Enid said they know he's not going to live that long. I know they know. It's just that it sounds so odd and so weird to be saying like they're giving somebody 160 years, 200 years, 200. There's one guy the other day, like he got 250 years. I'm like, yikes. So we're going to circle around to Maryland. And a Cumberland man who expressed the delusion that the government is poisoning people with COVID-19 vaccine is accused of killing his brother, a pharmacist who administers the vaccines, and 2 others. Jeffrey Burnham, 46, is alleged to have shot and killed his brother, Brian Robinette, 58, and his sister-in-law, Kelly Sue Robinette, 57, as well as 83-year-old Rebecca Reynolds, a lifelong friend of the accused mother. Police charging documents show that a day before the killing spree, Burnham had told his mother, Evelyn Burnham, 83, that he was upset that his pharmacist brother was given COVID vaccinations. After Burnham's arrest, his mother, in tears at her Cumberland, Maryland home, said to the Baltimore Sun of her son, I just hope they find out what went wrong in his head. According to police, Jeffrey Burnham killed Rebecca Reynolds at her 4th Street home in Cumberland on September 29th, stealing her car to drive to his brother's house on Kruger Road in Ellicott City. Burnham then killed his brother and his brother's wife and then stole their car and went on the run on the morning of Friday, October 1st. Burnham then stopped a firefighter in West Virginia and told him he had been forced to kill 3 people. Police arrested him that morning after an 18-hour manhunt. Burnham is alleged to have taken his brother's Corvette and, oh Lord. He actually stopped at someone's own home after stealing the brother's car. He stopped at somebody's home asking for gas. He then told the person who answered the door that they'd seen him on TV and that his brother was killing people with a COVID shot. That person called the state police. It was also found out that his mother was so concerned about his erratic behavior and his mental health that she had phoned police 2 days in a row. First on the day he killed her friend, and a day later, which was the day Burnham allegedly killed his brother and his brother's wife. Oh, Lord. So they've since charged him with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of second-degree murder. He's in the county detention center. All him know them all give him 160 years too. But mental health is not to be played with in these times. Not at all. So I see other people have joined. If you've just joined, say hi, say hello, share the live, comment. Let me know that you're here, and make a comment on the stories So we're going to circle back to Ontario. So Hassan Ali, a Toronto rapper, he's the one on the bottom right, has been on the run since January. Ali, better known to Toronto hip hop fans as Top 5, was taken into custody Thursday by the Los Angeles Police Department on a provisional arrest warrant. Details of his arrest aren't yet known. Ali, however, gained infamy by taunting investigators and regularly communicating with fans via Instagram Live while on the run from a murder charge. He was accused in the January 31st shooting death of 20-year-old Hashim Omar Hashi, who is the young man on the left. Hashi, who police said had no criminal record and no gang ties, was gunned down while driving into the parking garage of 40 Falstaff Avenue near Jane Street and Highway 401. The getaway car used by the gunman was later found torched in Earl Bales Park near Bathurst Street and Shepherd Avenue. Ali was originally charged in February with accessory after the fact, and despite objections by both police and the Crown, he was released the next month with strict conditions, including an ankle monitor and orders to stay off social media. Shortly before police upgraded his charges to first-degree murder in May, Ali allegedly cut off his ankle monitor and skipped town. With rumors on his whereabouts ranging from Toronto to West Canada, he didn't let being on the run interfere with his music career, however, releasing new music and even a music video while on the lam. He also made regular appearances on social media, including frequent broadcasts on Instagram Live, where he taunted both police and rivals alike and also issued denials he was either on the run or wanted by police. I didn't cut my bracelet off, he said during a June broadcast. I'm not on the W. I don't know why you guys think I'm on the W. In a July broadcast, he demanded a sit-down with Toronto Mayor John Tory. Call John Tory and tell him I effing want to sit down for effing 30 minutes, Ali said to fans commenting about his legal woes. I want to spit my facts and he'll spit his facts. I run Toronto, you effing goof. So I like him now. What them to do with him when them send him back to Toronto for face fame charges? This is a great case for mental illness, because only somebody who is mentally ill will carry on and do all of them things. It can't be seen. It cannot be righted in a. Oh, tell me if you don't think him righted. Tell me if you don't think this man right. Him can't write it. Can't write it at all. Jamila said exactly life him I get. Yeah, Jamila said a pure mad people the boat. Laughing my ass off. Sharon said him soon see who run tomorrow. Right? He needs some mad people. The crazy. But I understand. Something in the waterway, it just affect some people. And because there's no way him can't in a film right in head. Like, people know you were charged. People know you're on the run. You're going to talk about how you run Toronto. You're going to talk about you want to sit down with the mayor and all of these things. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Sharon say I play a fool. Well, I guess the wise catch the fool, and the fool are going to end up in a jail because LAPD is going to be the extradite him. Is going to be extraditing him to Canada, where he will spend quite a few years there. Erica. Hey, Erica, how are you? Erica said him writing more than me and you. True that, but man, enough you show it to everybody like that. Anyways, we're staying in Ontario, and this news was a little bit surprising. So, a Toronto police officer is accused of going to a woman's home a day after she filed a domestic report and sexually assaulted her. The allegations against Constable Conal Quinn are laid out in a notice of hearing for the Toronto Police Tribunal, where he faced a disciplinary charge under the Police Services Act. The notice alleges Quinn interacted with a complainant on March 20th when she called police to report a domestic related threat. It alleges that he then went to the complainant's home the next day while on duty and sexually assaulted her. The notice says Quinn was later criminally charged with sexual assault in connection with the incident. The officer, who is currently suspended with pay, has not yet entered a plea before the tribunal. Ontario's police watchdog announced the criminal charges against Quinn, which also include one count of breach of trust by an official in April, but gave no details on the allegations against him, saying the case is now before the courts. The allegations have not yet been tested in court or at the police tribunal, and a police spokesperson said the disciplinary proceedings will be on hold until the criminal case is resolved. The part of me have problem with is the fact that him still I get paid. While he has been criminally charged, him still I get paid. And him I go get paid until the case done. And then when the case done, him not have to pay back the money while him get paid. Like, me have a problem with that part there. If anything, he should not have gotten paid. And then if him get off of the case or whatever, then him get back the back pay. But right now, can you imagine you call somebody because you get a threat from your domestic partner and him come back the next day, and she probably let him in the next day because she probably thought he came back to do like a follow-up investigation on the situation the next day, and him ended up raping her, sexually assaulting her, whatever terminology them want to use. I don't understand. Sharon said, shouldn't the charge be rape? And Enid says, why they give him pay? And Erica said, exactly, that's why they do what they do. Sharon said, sexual assault could even be touching. Exactly. So I'm not quite sure why they didn't use the rape terminology. Maybe there wasn't any intercourse. Maybe it was him hugging on her or whatever. So maybe that's what it is. But it does say sexually assaulting her. So it could be verbal sexual assault. It didn't state what kind of sexual assault. So, but I have an issue with the fact that he is still getting paid, and that is a part of their bargaining thing, where there's been police officers that are out for 6-7 years on trial and getting paid and not doing work. So I don't know how long this is going to take for it to get to trial. And in the meantime, he's gonna get paid, and him I get him full salary. I don't like him I get half a salary or anything. He's gonna get his full salary. He is going to get his full salary. Jamila said, too much demons out here. He's sick too. Yeah, like what is it? What possessed him in a theme head for say, oh, let me go back and whatever, like she's already traumatized. That's why she did call in the first place. And you decide to go back and do that. And whether it's verbal, whether it's touching, whether it's, whatever which way, like he had no right to go back and do that to her. So I will I'll do. I'll check. I'll keep checking that case to see what happens with it. So we're gonna circle around to Jamaica, and big killing at Jamaica this week, and this was all over media everywhere this week because this is huge. So Christopher Dawg Paul Linton was killed earlier this week. He was released from jail in April of 2021. He got shot in June of 2021, and we're now in October. So in just under 6 months after release from prison, and after 4 months after getting shot by gunmen in Bull Bay, he was killed in a gun battle with police. A woman who was also traveling with him at the time of the shooting was shot as well and is currently in hospital. Sources say she's an insurance agent. So this particular person, he was on Jamaica's most wanted list for the longest time. He was in prison for shooting a police officer. He got 13 years on that one. He was implicated in quite a few other murders, but the one case that he was actually sentenced for was shooting a police officer. He got 13 years. The case was appealed, and he won the appeal, and he was released in April. And since his release in April, police have stated that he has been implicated in several murders and shootings since he's been released. Now, the interesting fact about him is that bad man out for kill him, police out for kill him. So him couldn't win. And he couldn't even go back to jail because there was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, there were voice notes circulating about some Don in a jail who also had issues with him that, he knew that if he went back to jail, him and that Don would have getting a problem, and that the followers of that Don would have killed him. So that is one man that him couldn't have any peace where him go. He wouldn't have peace in jail. He wouldn't have peace a road from bad man, and he wouldn't have peace a road from police. So him couldn't win. Him couldn't win. There's also a story where they said he was being sought for a crime where 3 members of a family were slain in St. Andrew. They're saying that he led a group of close to 40 gunmen who sprayed the house with bullets for several minutes before setting the house on fire. And 3 members of one family died. They've also stated that since he's been out of jail, Augustone, just where he's residing, just get hot, like every day. This a gang member dead, that a one of dead, innocent people are dead, and all of them something. So somebody would have to kill him. But he police claimed that they got intel, and based on the intel that they got, they stop a car that they see coming up the road, and him decides they claim that he jumped out of the car and start firing at the police, because I guess he claimed that he's not going back to prison. So you can call it suicide by cop if that's the case. What's interesting about him as well is the lady on the screen with him. Her name is Leah Tavares Finson. She is the daughter of attorney at law and president of the Senate, Tom Tavares Finson, and Cindy Breakspear, former Miss World. She is also the sister of Damien Jr. Gong Marley. She is also the baby mother of Dawg Paw. So when he had came out, Dawg Paw's mother stated that, oh, I lie them tell upon our son never do all of the things them want him say, and him all go to church, and him all turn him life around, and him all da 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 da. And Leah was very happy that he was out. I mean, he's the father of her 10-year-old son, so she was very happy that he was out and whatever, and some and thing. So she since posted in her Instagram stories that I will miss you, Papa Bear, my Dawg Paw. She added, watch over us the right way now. So that is her message to him since she's dead, since he's been killed. But it's interesting how you wouldn't think that those two worlds would collide like that and continue to collide. And, the only way it ended was no, because him dead. So that's one of the men of the Jamaica's list that police are very happy that is dead. But there's no way he could have survived what is happening because everybody wants him. And they're saying that his cousin was killed the day before or killed the morning off. And he was on his way to visit where the cousin was killed or something to do with the cousin. That's why police got him. So some people are saying that his cousin was killed as a way of drawing him out to come out so that they could kill him. I don't know if I saw it go. I just know say him dead. There are people that are happy that he's dead. There are people that are sad that he is dead. I've seen some people post that he was in church on Sunday praying and doing whatever, and then promise people saying what I cook for them, and then da 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 da. Me don't know. But let's just say he's no more. And the video showing him dead wasn't very nice either. I try not to look at those, but sometimes they come in and you don't know what's gonna come up, and yeah, you just see them. So Sharon says no honor among thieves, one of his 40 cronies. Facts. Sharon says she worthless bad. Enid said true, Sharon. And then Sharon says the common denominator is money. Yeah. Well, he's dead. That's where that lies. So we're gonna do my COVID roundup for this week, and there's a few things that are happening, that some changes are being made and all of that. So the US border will be open to non-essential travelers in November. That means we can now walk or drive across the bridge for our day trips. So in November, non-essential travel will be open for the US. In Quebec, the Quebec Order of Nurses announced Monday that members who are not vaccinated against COVID-19 will have their permits to practice suspended as of Friday, which is tomorrow. The decision came ahead of the October 15 province's deadline, after which unvaccinated employees in the health sector face suspension without pay. And the president told media sources that the suspension of members will remain in effect until they can provide proof they have been adequately vaccinated. And in Ontario, our illustrious Premier Doug Ford has indicated that he will announce his new plan for lifting more of Ontario's COVID-19 public health restrictions next week. Apparently, we'll be leaving from step 3 to step 4, and which will means that we will now, the measures will include ending capacity limits in all locations where proof of vaccination requirements are in place, such as restaurants, bars, and gyms. So right now, restaurants, bars, and gyms are at 50% capacity. Theaters are at 50% capacity because we're still in step 3. Hopefully, he's made an announcement to make an announcement, and the announcement will be that next week the announcement will come out that we will go into step 4. And I think that is part of that is happening because with the increasing capacity for the Leafs game and the Raptors game and the Blue Jays game and TFC games and the larger sports entertainment, the small BIAs were very upset yesterday and the day before, for the past few days anyways, stating that the bars and the restaurants are being penalized by not being able to operate at full capacity. He's allowing the larger bars and stuff to larger entertainment complexes to operate. So I think that's why he's going to be moving that forward, because of all the heat that he's getting from the other businesses. Also, Ontario publicly funded school boards are reporting another 269 new school-related case of COVID-19 over a 4-day period that included the holiday weekend. Silverthorne Collegiate was also closed due to an outbreak of COVID. And typically for schools to close because of outbreak, I think it's if 5 to 10 students in one school has COVID, that's considered an outbreak, and they'll close the school for 2 weeks so that everything they can recover and all of that stuff before they reopen school. Saskatchewan, they've had a significant outbreak of COVID lately. And we're supposedly in the 4th wave of the outbreak. And based on the math that they're using now, they're saying the new daily cases in Saskatchewan is 465, or around 38.6 new cases per 100,000 people. So when they did the math, they're saying Saskatchewan only has a population of around 1.17 million people. So they're stating that based on the rate of cases in Saskatchewan, it would be equivalent to Ontario having 5,600 cases a day. So when you're using the math like that, they're saying the hospitals are overrun. They have right now nearly 340 COVID-19 patients hospitalized in Saskatchewan. And then they're saying 75% of those that are hospitalized are not fully vaccinated. So that particular province has the lowest vaccination rate in the country. And they've also sent some of their COVID patients from Saskatchewan to Ontario. So there's a lot happening with COVID in Saskatchewan right now, and Alberta as well. So the corona numbers are as follows. So in Canada, 1.68 million have tested, 28,343 have died so far, with an increase of 234 over last week's numbers. Worldwide, 240 million people have been tested, 4.92 million people have died, with an increase of 52,000 people over the last week. The numbers that are dying worldwide are decreasing, because as you guys know, I track it every week to see, and the numbers are going down. Ontario numbers are as follows: 593,000 have tested, 9,804 people have died, an increase of 28 over last week's numbers. And in Jamaica, 86,507 people have been tested, 2,053 people have died, with an increase of 110 over last week's numbers. Jamaica numbers, the people dying from corona in Jamaica, the numbers have been going up a lot every week. I mean, in Ontario, we've only had 28 died within the last week, and in Jamaica we've had 110 died. So yeah, it's not looking good for Jamaica numbers. Okay, so back to the regular news, and I found this particular story interesting because this particular story deals with the way that people used to be able to get asylum and get their papers in the foreign country, but I'm a read on and you will hear. So, a Jamaican gay man has failed in his bid to have a United States appellate court hear his appeal against his deportation, as he could not prove that he would face state sanctioned persecution in Jamaica over his sexual orientation. Anthony Myrie had resided in the United States for 16 years, but his request for permanent residency in that country was denied in 2011. He was then ordered to be deported from the US, but he subsequently appealed that decision. In its October 7th written decision, a copy of which was obtained by an observer, the United States Courts of Appeal for the Seventh Circuit upheld the initial decision of the United States Board of Immigration Appeals to remove Myrie from that country. Myrie feared that private citizens may confront him, a gay man, about his sexual orientation, or the government may punish him for violating Jamaica's anti-sodomy laws, wrote the panel of 3 U.S. judges. But Jamaica rarely enforces its anti-sodomy laws for consensual sexual relations, and recent reports show growing public support for gay rights. Because substantial evidence supports the board's decision that Myrie does not face a likelihood of state-sanctioned persecution, we denied Myrie's petition, the judges added. According to the court document, Myrie entered the United States in 2016 as the fiancé of an American citizen whom he married 1 month later. Myrie eventually applied for permanent residence based on the marriage, but the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services denied the request in 2011. The government then started removal proceedings. The October 7th appeal decision stated. Of note, there was no explanation as to why Myrie was being removed from the United States. Despite the removal proceedings, Myrie has remained in the U.S. without authorization, the document indicated, at his initial removal hearing. Myrie sought relief based on his sexual orientation. He further testified that he has been attracted to men since he was a teenager in Jamaica in the 1980s. Myrie said that he was attacked once in 2004 after a man publicly called him gay and urged bystanders to shun him. 5 men then hit and kicked Myrie, who was bruised. Fearing repercussions, he did not seek medical care or ask the police for help, the court document said. But the immigration judge at the removal hearing denied Myrie's relief from removal due to overwhelming evidence suggesting, among other things, that police officers have protected gay people from violence. Unsatisfied with that ruling, Myrie appealed. However, again, the United States Court of Appeals has denied his relief. So he took it as far as he could take it. His appeal has it's been denied. So he's going to be deported to Jamaica. It's interesting because as a gay person, he thought that he could use that. Well, it has been used in the past where, all you had to do was claim that you were gay and claim that you would be persecuted. And again, Jamaica was known for being very anti-gay. However, while most Jamaicans are homophobic, some of them have since become tolerant. So the more progress that the LGBTQ community makes in Jamaica makes it less likely for them to seek asylum in another country using their sexual orientation as the reason for them to do so, because now they may even have a gay parade in Jamaica. They have a gay parade in Jamaica, so it's very interesting. I thought the case was very interesting, for that to happen. So we'll see how many more of those cases end up being denied, or how many more of those people end up being denied status in the USA because of their orientation. Enid says a lot in JA for true. Jamila said that is going to be hard for him. Yeah. Sharon says if he was so scared from the onset of going back, why not get married to his partner and do the right thing? Staying in the US. He did. He did marry. Oh my God, really, I did not know that. Wow. Yes, they do have they had a gay pride parade. I want to say if it wasn't June, it would have been in July that they had a gay pride parade. Sharon, he did marry. He did get married, but for some reason, when they submitted the application for him to get his status, the application was rejected, and it was at that time he was told that he would be deported back to Jamaica. And based on that, that's when he did the appeal. So that's been going on for the longest time. But he did get married, and he did, but there must have been something in it that they saw that they say, hey, we're not gonna approve this filing. And ever since then, for the past few years, he's been trying to get status, and this is the final appeal that he could do to get status, and that's been rejected. So now he definitely has to either leave the country voluntarily or be deported by them. No. Enid said yes, he was married, and Sharon says, oh, okay, I thought it was after he was rejected. No, his first rejection was based on the marriage application that was sent in after he was married. So I'm not quite sure what they saw in it at that time. And it's funny because at that time, people were less tolerant of gays than they are now. So I'm not quite sure what happened, what they saw in that process back then for them to deny him. And then, the appeals process and stuff and all of that stuff. So I don't know. So we're going to circle around to Norway, and this happened yesterday. Yeah. A man using a bow and arrow has killed several people and injured others in Kongsberg, Norway, near the country's capital of Oslo. The unidentified suspect began shooting people at a Co-op Extra supermarket in the town. Police did not confirm the exact number of people killed during the incident, but it is being reported that there were at least 4 confirmed deaths. While the attack was going on, police advised Kongsberg's residents to stay in their homes as the suspect began moving through town, trying to shoot more people with a bow and arrow. He was eventually caught, and police currently believe he acted alone. They're stating that this particular gentleman was radicalized, and they're treating him as a terrorist in Norway. So we're not quite sure what's going to happen with that. It happened yesterday. I think they said maybe 5 or 6 people died and a few more were injured. But Bow and arrow, the man I use to kill people. Hey. Enid says, Carlene, you look like you just woke up. Carlene says, yes, me just a tune in. Thanks for tuning in, Carlene. Hey, Maxine in Florida, how are you? Long time no see her here. Oh, Paul is well. I'm going to go to San Francisco. And this little woman, she wants somebody beat her. She wants somebody beat her. So she has been arrested after allegedly throwing parties for underage teens in which she'd serve them alcohol and encourage sex acts that she sometimes watched. Shannon O'Connor, age 47, has been charged with 39 criminal counts, including felony child abuse, sexual assault, and providing alcohol to minors. O'Connor, the mother of a 15-year-old, allegedly bought vodka and Fireball whiskey, provided condoms, and discouraged the teens from telling their parents about the parties or calling for help when one of them passed out in their own vomit. There are also claims that O'Connor engaged sex acts among the teens, sometimes non-consensual and sometimes while she watched. The parties were allegedly held from 2020 to early 2021. Most of the teens were 14 and 15 years old at the time. O'Connor would often Snapchat or text teens inviting them over in the middle of the night to drink at her house. It took a lot of brave children to come forward and to untangle this deeply disturbing case, District Attorney Jeff Rosen said. O'Connor, who is currently living in Idaho, is being extradited and will be arraigned later. Sometimes, there's just no word for crazy people in this world. Why? Oh, why? What could have been going through her mind for her to invite teenagers over to her house, give them alcohol, force them to have sex with each other, also that she can watch? I don't understand it. I don't. Jamila says, LOL. Sharon says, horny old cruff. Jamila says she need a soak leather thick strap cross her back. I don't even know if that's going to help her, Jamila. Honestly, I don't know if that's going to help her. Like, I don't understand what could possess her. What could possess her to do that? Jamila said, Miss B, the demons are. I'm starting to believe that because, trust, there's no way. There is no way that she could be there. Demon definitely out. Definitely out. So I'm going to go to Kenya. And this is a very sad story coming out of Kenya. So one of Kenya's leading athletes, Agnes Tirop, has been found stabbed to death at her home in Aiton, with police treating her husband as the suspect. The 25-year-old athlete, who broke the women-only 10,000-meter road record last month and also won bronze medal at the 2017 and 2019 World Championship, was discovered by police on Wednesday after being reported missing by her father. Tom McCory, the head of police for the area, confirmed that Tirop's husband was a suspect after going missing. When police got in the house, they found Tirop on the bed and there was a pool of blood on the floor, he said. They saw she had been stabbed in the neck, which led us to believe it was a knife wound, and we believe that is what caused her death. Her husband is still at large, and preliminary investigations tell us her husband is a suspect because he cannot be found. Police are trying to find her husband so he can explain what happened to Tirop. Last month, Tirop smashed the woman only 10K world record in Germany, and she also competed for Kenya in the 500-meter race at the Tokyo Olympics recently, finishing 4th. Oh boy, it's sad. It's sad. Very, very sad. But sometimes you don't know what's going around. But that's our news story for this week. And I'm going to touch right now on the topic of the night. The topic of the night is, would you have your spouse lend your family member money? And this I saw, it was messaged to me, and then I went and read upon why it was messaged to me. The person who messaged had a reason, and then she's going through the situation. And then I also saw a couple of other articles elsewhere where a couple of people had written in. So drop in the comment section if you would have your spouse lend your family member money. And as another part of it, especially if you know, say your family not like your spouse. So let me know, drop a comment, let me know if you would have your spouse lend your family member money. Jamila, did you really mean no? No? Was that no, Jamila? I didn't understand, Jamila. Was that no? Did you mean no? Enid says depends. What would it depend on, Enid? What would it depend on for you to lend your have your family? For me, it's a no. It's a no. If I can't give my family the money, it's not coming from my husband, not coming from a spouse at all. Because what if the money not pay back? If the money not pay back, Cardi said, it's my spouse's decision to make. I'm not the middle person in anything. Okay, but would you be okay with your family member bypassing you to go to your spouse directly to borrow money? That's one situation. And then the next situation is, if your family member come to you and say, okay, boom, we need some money for borrow. You know, say you don't have the money. Would you go to your spouse and say, my sister need money for borrow, lend her it, and then whatever? Because at the end of the day, if the money not pay back, there's going to be friction. So if I don't have the money to lend my family member, Enid says if she can trust who is getting it. Okay. I hear you on that one. If you can trust, so you're dependent on if you can trust who's okay. All right. It's just a no for me. It's just a no. If I don't have the money, you're not getting it. I'm not ask my spouse for it, fill into you, because if you don't pay it back, I got have the problem, because my spouse will come to me and say, why them lend the money and see no it now pay back, and me can't bother with that drama. Me can't bother with that drama. And if my family member bypasses me to go directly to my spouse to borrow money, me want to know why she feel, or that person would feel the need, or why them feel like them that familiar with my spouse to go borrow money from him. But I want to know that part of it too. Jamila said, exactly, Miss B, the money no pay back. And what if you and the husband reach an argument and the husband class a family member, may I go feel away? Exactly. Enid said, and don't take regular. Exactly. Sharon said, give half instead of lend total. Yeah, but I prefer, like I said, if I'm my family member, if me not have all I for lend, you give what you can afford to give, and you leave the rest. But you're not coming to my spouse. Me not go to my spouse to borrow the money for anybody at all, at all, at all. The money borrowing stops at me, and if me not have it and me can lend you something, me I go lend you something, or me not go to my spouse. Enid says, B, you have a point. And Carlin says, only lend what you are prepared to lose. Exactly. That is always the written rule with lending. Lend what you are willing to lose. If you don't have it to lose, don't lend it. And sometimes we want to help people, and sometimes we go to our way to help people, but sometimes it's not appreciated, and sometimes them just act like say I fit the money you lend them. Act like I fit the money you lend them. Sometimes them bright and fierce to with it, but yeah, my spouse not lend no family member no money. Nope, not at all. Mm-mm. So general consensus, that's like a 50-50 thing with the comments that I've gotten so far. Jamila is a dead no. Enid says depends. Carlene is lend what you can prepare and she not get in between our spouse. And Sharon said give half instead of lend total. So that's the comment for the topic of the night. And the email the question that was emailed to me, I don't know why they choose to email this one to me, but we are going to see what I'm go on with that one. So the question that was emailed to me was, would I go online to find someone to have a relationship? Yes or no? So I know that most of you either have husbands, have partners, or whatever, but you can still drop a comment in the comment section, if you would have gone online to date. For me, again, Jamila, why you laughing, Jamila? Jamila, why you laughing? Why are you laughing? I've heard good things and I've heard bad things of online dating. I know people who have horror stories from it. I know people who claim that it's a waste of their time to do it. And on the other hand, I've also gone to a wedding of two people who met online. So, like with anything else, it's a 50-50 thing. So, Jamila says, hell no, Una learned a 20-year-old man killed 3 women. Jamil, put down the phone and step away. Step away from the phone, Jamila. Step away. Enid says, big no. Sharon said, wait, this has never been my problem, me nice. Sharon, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going, well, I don't know. It's funny because lately, well, not lately, but for the past few months, sometimes when I go on Facebook, the first thing that pops up is Facebook dating. Facebook has a dating thing or a singles match thing. And that is the first thing that pop up. I don't know why Facebook, maybe because my status single from me on Facebook. So Facebook, maybe I tell me I need to change that status. Their Facebook, it ain't changing on Facebook. That's all I'm going to say. Carlene says, every relationship is a gamble. Matters not how you meet this person. That's very true. That is very true. Like I said, I've gone to weddings of, it was actually a gay couple. They met online and they're now married I want to say, I think they're now married 6 or 7 years. And then I have other people that will never, ever, ever date anybody, like will never even sign up for an online dating app. So, for me, so to the person that sent in the email, for myself, that's a no. I don't know if I would probably change my mind later down the road. But for now and the foreseeable future, if I was to be back on the dating market, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable doing that, because it's not even that the relationship is going to be a gamble. It's just that sometimes who them put on the profile of who they are is not who you see in a real life when you go to meet them. You know, you're looking for a nice, tall, dark, handsome person. You get Mr. Goodyear blimp show up, you know, all of them things. So yeah, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. You know, but if somebody feels comfortable going that route and doing that, that's their thing. But it's a no for me. Enid says, Carlene, you can be right. Jamila said, yes, Miss B, catfish it called haha week. Sharon says, who you know crazy, much less who you don't know. Girl, can I tell you? Can I tell you? Yeah, but it's a no for me. But each person has to know what they're looking for, and choose the path that they want to take in finding the partner that they want to find. But for me, no. And if I were to not no longer be in a relationship, I still would not go online, because there's somebody out there that would think it'd be up to them to set me up with somebody. Besides, my DM is full, so no. Anyways, that's the email of the week, and emailer, hopefully we answered your question and the opinions stated. You know, you take those into consideration and make your choice and make your decision. Okay, all right. So my soul chattings for the night is: lose your temper and you lose a friend. Lie and lose yourself. Lose your temper and you lose a friend. Lie and you lose yourself. If me lose my temper, me I go lose a friend, and that was never a friend. I'm just saying. Because I can't lose myself. So, to my friends out there, when I lose my temper, y'all better stick around. Because you know it's only temporary. Besides, I rarely lose my temper. Meditation is helping me very, very well with that situation right now. So we've come to the end of another Thursday night. My peeps, I thank you all for joining me. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. I need to get my numbers up. People are watching my videos, but my subscriber level is low, so I need you all to subscribe. So thanks for taking the time out to watch the live. I enjoyed it. Tune in next week, Thursday, same time. The replay will be on the YouTube channel if you want to watch again, or, just go over something that we've talked about, you missed, and you want to see it again. So have a good day, good night, good afternoon, good evening. Enjoy, and see you next time. I'm out. Enjoy your evening, peeps. Thank you.